Hi everybody, it's Audrey. Thanks for coming to my channel. Today's page is for the Paige Evans and Silhouette Design team. So I'm using some cut files from Paige Evans, designed by Paige Evans in the Silhouette store. And I am working with one of her fonts today. So I have two fonts that I think I was going to work with. The first one is called the Back Me font, I believe. And the other one is the Label Maker font. So I have the Back Me font here, and I've typed a whole bunch of the letter Z's, because this page is about my son taking a little snooze outside my bedroom door. And I wanted to have this cascade of letter Z's with a picture at the bottom to make it look like the Z's when he was sleeping. So I took this file, I've used some lowercase z's, some capital Z's in different sizes, and I first thought I was going to kind of weld them all together here. And it was just getting a little too busy. So then I tried the same thing with this other font. And so this is the Label Maker font. And I liked the way that the Z's stood out better with this particular font. So what I did is, again, made a whole bunch of capital and lowercase z's in different sizes. And these Z's are in little rectangles. So I'm going to cut these letter Z's out of some rectangles. So I'm just positioning a whole bunch of them here on the bottom. And because it's kind of a sleepy time page, I'm going to be going with a blue, mostly a blue theme, and then bring in a couple other colors. So I'm copying and pasting these Z's, and what I do is I cut strips of pattern paper, which were about 2.5 inches tall, maybe 3 inches, yeah, 3 inches by 12 inches, and then I cut a whole bunch of Z's, so you can see my piles of Z's on the top of the page there. And I cut mostly blues, a couple yellows, and some pinks. I didn't know if I was going to use the pink or not, but I love that color palette at the top. So before I add my Z's, I'm going to do some mixed media. I am using the Basil Marshmallow cardstock, which you don't really have to gesso. It holds mixed media pretty well and doesn't warp too bad. I probably should have still used some gesso because I go heavy with the wet media here, the inks and the mists especially. So I used the packaging technique and added some teal and some seafoam. Also, the gesso allows the inks to spread better and different. So I should have used gesso, but in retrospect, it mostly gets covered up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I took a baby wipe there, and I used the baby wipe to wipe some ink off the desk. But I actually used it to smudge in some of that navy because that navy is so dark and I didn't want it to be too dark. So when I used the baby wipe, it helped kind of smear the color around. And then you saw me splatter it there with a little bit of, with a fan brush to get some more little splatters in the background. So I like the way, the kind of dreamy, cloudy look that that packaging technique gives there. So now I have my photo on the bottom. And you can see I am playing around with the letter Z's here. I take the pink off right away because it's not because it's mostly a boy page, but just because I felt that the monochromatic look with the blues was much better with one pop of color. I think the pink brought too much in. And I'm just trying to arrange the Z's with different sizes and spreading out the navy and the aqua colors and the lighter colors, and just scattering them around up there. So this photo, really quickly, my son had a special event at school, and he was so nervous so excited about it, and so nervous that I wasn't going to wake him up, that I tucked him in bed, and then a couple hours later, when I went to bed, I went upstairs, and he was sleeping outside my doorway with his alarm clock on his beanbag chair and his blanket. And it was so cute because I said, "Why did you sleep like that?" And he said, I didn't want you, I wanted to make sure you woke me up. I said, of course I was going to wake you up. But, did you let you, not like he doesn't get up at like 7 every morning, 6:37 every day anyway. So, anyway. So, the yellow Z's I played around with, so I had all the letters, from the insides cut out too. And I didn't know if I was going to use those. I put them in some of the, put the cutout Z's inside some of the rectangles there. I kind of like the way that looks. And now that I think about it, and I look at it here, I don't think I went back and added those in. I think I forgot to put those back in when I went back to glue. So I spend a little bit of time arranging these because I'm picky about the color distribution and the way, the shape that these Z's are making collectively. I kind of wanted it to filter down kind of to a point at the photo and get wider at the top. So that was a little tricky because I ran out of some of the smaller size Z's in the certain colors that I want. So after I got those all arranged like I wanted, I went to I glued them down just on the tops, and then I went to my sewing machine and stitched over the top of each one with some aqua thread, which you'll see in the close-ups. I backed my photo with a piece of lightly yellow patterned paper, and that's where my yellow comes in. And then I took out this stamp set from Paige's Turn the Page collection, and I just love these layered stamps. And I used a Distress ink, gosh, I can't remember the color, maybe straw, is that it? Straw, one of those colors like that. And it was a pretty perfect match to the yellow that I was looking for. I cut out the yellow star from one of the 6x6 paper pads from Turn the Page. And I off camera, I had already gone through all of the collections I have, all of Paige's collections, and gone through the embellishments and picked out things that I thought I might use. So I kind of spared you having to watch me go through all that stuff because I picked through things for a while. I cut out a little XOXO vellum square that's from her Pick Me Up collection. And then also from the Pick Me Up collection, these little rub-ons, there were some teeny tiny star rub-ons. And I add those in, I think I had 3 little clusters of those stars. And just scatter those around as well. Rub them on. I love layering, like I see people do this technique a lot, layering, you know, chunks of pattern paper like this to create a large focal element on the page. So it's fun with different color palettes and different size papers, or even tags you can layer like this. So it's a fun technique to try. What else? So I took some thickers from my stash, the word lay, and then I put Now I Lay Me, and I used the Paige's white foam stickers. I decided to, did I add yellow splatters? No, I didn't add yellow splatters. I thought about it. I added some gold splatters, but I didn't add the bright yellow. I typed up my journaling and added my journaling. And that's about it. Stapled my tag on. Besides the Z's, not too much embellishing. You know, like I said, the papers actually end up being the embellishment in a way. So yeah, pretty fun and easy page. I love doing this technique. Oh, my last little bit were these little tiny star sequins. Those are from, maybe those are from Turn the Page as well. I can't remember. They're from one of her latest collections. So they're super, super bright yellow. They're not as mustard color as other stars, but I still like the way they stand out. And there is the finished page. I love this. It has such a dreamy vibe to it with the stars and the blue, so it's perfect. You can see the stars and the stitching and the Z's and some of my photo layers there. And that's about it. Oh, and my journaling. Thank you so much for watching today. Come back soon for some more videos, and stay scrappy, friends.